A new book following Mercedes' ups and downs during the 2023-2024 season has revealed why Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff never gave Hamilton a guaranteed deal. So why was it? Let's find out in today's video. Losing Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari, after signing him to a one-year deal with an option for a second, Toto Wolff doesn't regret the terms of the Britain's last Mercedes contract, as everyone has a shelf life. In hindsight, Wolff dodged a future conversation where he might have had to tell the seven-time world champion that Mercedes wanted to stop. Hamilton shocked the motorsport world earlier this year when he announced that 2024 would be his 12th and final season with Mercedes, the team with whom he won 6 of his 7 Drivers' Championship titles. The 39-year-old exercised an exit clause in his latest Mercedes contract, which he had signed just 6 months before, to leave the Brackley team after year 1, as year 2 was an option. Instead, he'll race for Ferrari in 2025, partnering with Charles Leclerc, having signed a multi-year contract with the Scuderia. At the time, questions were raised about whether Mercedes had mishandled the situation by only locking Hamilton into a one-year contract for 2024, leaving the door open for him to leave. Wolff responded to that, saying, "We're big boys. We knew that by signing a short-term contract it could be of benefit for both sides. We couldn't commit for a longer period, and he's taken the option to exit. We totally respect that you can change your mind. There's different circumstances. Switching to Ferrari, maybe for the last gig in his career, maybe rolling the dice a bit. I can follow that decision." In the new book titled Inside Mercedes F1: Life in the Fast Lane, Toto Wolff reveals more about why Mercedes only offered Lewis Hamilton a one-year deal. Hamilton's age was a factor in their decision-making process. "There's a reason why we only signed a 1+1 year contract," Wolff explained. "We're in a sport where cognitive sharpness is extremely important, and I believe everyone has a shelf life. So I need to look at the next generation. It's the same in football. Managers like Sir Alex Ferguson or Pep Guardiola, they anticipated it in the performance of their top stars and brought in junior players that drove the team for the next years." In fact, in an interview in the book dated February 7th, Wolff says Hamilton's decision to leave meant he potentially avoided what could have been an awkward conversation with the Briton in the years to come. "I like the situation," said the Austrian. "It helps us because it avoids the moment where we need to tell the sport's most iconic driver that we want to stop." Looking ahead to 2025, Mercedes' lineup embodies Wolff's forward-thinking strategy. Alongside Russell will be 18-year-old Kimi Antonelli, a young talent nurtured by Wolff since his karting days. This trend of trusting young drivers is shaping 2025's Izili season. As Hamilton prepares to turn 40 and embark on his new journey with Ferrari next year, he's determined to demonstrate the value of his vast experience during his final days in F1. "I feel like I'm ending a relationship that's perfectly fine," he reveals to Wyman when asked about leaving Mercedes. "We're still in love. I haven't lost faith in the team. I'm just leaving for myself. Moving to Ferrari has been a childhood dream. I think it's probably the same for every kid who loves motorsport, you know? Driving the red car. The fact is, I'm moving towards the end of my career. I've only got a few years left, and so I started thinking how I'd feel looking back on it all. I asked myself if I'd be truly happy if I just stayed with the team rather than experiencing something different. I thought about it long and hard over the winter. It was a heavy time. I have this amazing thing going on here after all. It's been a huge privilege, and I genuinely love working with everyone. I also know moving is a big risk. But then, I love risk. In the end, I just couldn't get it out of my head." On the other hand, Wolff would add, "This was a business decision. We've enjoyed such a successful journey together, and now we have our own objectives. This didn't even move the needle for me. I'm thick-skinned, you know? I've had some pretty tough moments in my life, and this doesn't compare." When Hamilton's news first broke, Toto Wolff was vocal about his interest in bringing 3-time champion Max Verstappen to Mercedes, especially during Red Bull's turbulent months. Big names like Carlos Sainz and Sebastian Vettel were also in the mix for Hamilton's seat. But ultimately, the team chose 18-year-old Italian sensation Kimi Antonelli to join George Russell in 2025. Wolff admitted he was taken aback by the timing of Hamilton's announcement, though Sainz's father had hinted that the 7-time world champion might be heading to Maranello. Wolff has now revealed that the team just missed out on potentially signing one of 2 huge stars on the F1 grid. "I definitely had it on my radar that Lewis would go. I just couldn't understand why he would go to another team before we knew if we were going to be competitive. It also didn't give me time to react. I had to urgently call our partners and possibly miss the opportunity to negotiate with other drivers who had signed a few weeks earlier," like Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. With Hamilton set to move Ferrari at season's end, a season where the seven-time world champion isn't performing at his best. Bernie Ecclestone has come to warn Hamilton that if he feels like his skills fading, to tear up his Ferrari contract before the start of next season. Hamilton's final season with Mercedes has been quite the challenge. Adding to the drama, former Formula One chief Bernie Ecclestone has advised Hamilton that he doesn't have to follow through with his move to Ferrari. As Hamilton gears up for this next chapter in his racing career, the stakes and emotions are running high. If Lewis is fading, which I don't like to see, he should go away and do something else and do a good job at it, Ecclestone told the Daily Mail. Hamilton has had a challenging time with the emergence of George Russell at Mercedes. Now, according to 94-year-old Bernie Ecclestone, Hamilton might face a similar struggle at Ferrari, where the team is likely to firmly support Charles Leclerc. I don't think it will be easy for Lewis, Ecclestone continued, especially in that team. They will back Charles Leclerc. He's quick and has grown up there. They won't dump him for anyone. Ecclestone, though, believes Lewis did not make a mistake walking away from Mercedes after his 3 years' performance against George Russell because he could not exist any longer at Mercedes. Either he has given up with them, or they have given up on him. They would not do much to keep him, so he is better off going. Reading between the lines, Bernie Ecclestone seems sceptical about the potential Ferrari-Hamilton partnership. He believes that Ferrari's favouritism towards Charles Leclerc might not sit well with Hamilton, suggesting that a hastily made deal could have significant repercussions for the Ferrari top boss. Alluding to John Elkann. For John Elkann, the guy who runs it, it was a big ego thing. He thought he had captured the best guy the world had ever seen. When he signed him, there was nothing to indicate he was wrong in that assessment. Whether he is still happy with that is another story. Only time will tell, said Ecclestone. And as for Hamilton, the seven-time world champion has detailed his goals for the final 3 races of the season. The seven-time world champion has had a rollercoaster campaign. His fortunes peaked midway through the year with 2 wins in 3 races, including a triumphant victory at his home British Grand Prix. However, Hamilton has recently struggled with form and voiced discomfort behind the wheel. His latest outing in Brazil saw him finish 10th, scoring just a solitary point as he nears the end of his journey with Mercedes. When asked how he is recharging for the final triple header of the season, Hamilton told media, "I just put my focus on something else. I'm not fighting for the championship. It doesn't matter, really, where we finish in the championship. I don't care if I finish ahead of George Russell or behind George. It doesn't make any difference to me. I just want to keep the car out the wall and try to score points if I can for the team. If I can finish, whatever. If they give me a car that doesn't bounce off the track in the next few races, then hopefully we can get a better result. But I'm looking forward to Christmas." So do you think Toto planned it all along to get Lewis out of that seat at Mercedes? Let us know in the comments section. That's all for today, so thanks for watching.